Hey guys, All Sports 83 sporting another video at you, and I hope you're ready for another doubleheader as the GoFast eRacing League Series has weeks 21 and 22, where the first stop is at the Pocono Raceway. The pole sitter for this race was the 48 car of KU B-Ball fan, who would get his first of the season. And while the battling up front for the top spot would take off right out of the gate, it was a lot of the things that took place behind the leaders that we needed to keep our eye on, as coming out of the tunnel turn on lap number 1 was a huge crash that would bring out the caution before the field can complete the first lap. A little later, it was the 11 car of Sports for God 83 who would hold a steady line and take advantage of a fast race car and would move himself from third to first coming out of turn number 3 and would take the lead for the first time in the race. He wouldn't be without challengers, however, as the 9 car of Chase 456 also had a strong race car, and the 2 cars would continue to swap the lead back and forth throughout stage number 1. Then another challenger would pop up in the latter stages of this stage, and that was the 95 car of J. Harris 3407. But the 11 car stayed focused and determined and would eventually work his way back around the 95 car for the lead in the latter parts of stage number 1. He would go on to hold off the field and win stage number 1 and collect 3 bonus points. At the beginning of the second stage, we would see yet another new challenger as BuffyFan95 made all the right adjustments to make his car a lot faster and added himself to an already packed race for the lead. He would lead a large number of laps during stage number 2 and would show that he would be around for the end of the race. Latter parts of the stage, the 11 car of Sports for God 83 started showing his strength again as he moved into the second position and even won the lead position off pit road after a caution. This battling would take place further into the stage, a little contact between the 11 and the 24 on this restart. But the 11 car would continue to hold the lead until he would get out of position in the tunnel turn and get into the wall. This would cause a chain reaction, bringing out the caution for the second time in stage number 2. On the restart, the 41 car of BuffyFan95 couldn't get the car going, and that gave the advantage to the inside lane. A couple of laps later, Sports for God 83 looks for his opportunity. He leans on the 9 car just a little bit and moves himself into the lead. This lead would not last for long, however, as he would get out of the groove in the tunnel turn once again, and that would turn the lead over to the 41 car of BuffyFan95. He would finish third, but BuffyFan would get the victory and the 3 bonus points. Stage number 3 would see more of the same, a battle up front between BuffyFan95 and Sports for God 83. KU B-Ball fan behind the 11 car also put himself in the mix until a mishap by the 41 makes contact with the 11 car and brings out a caution to bring the field back together once again. A little later, we see a great battle for the lead between the 11 and the 95 car of J. Harris 3407. Battling up front was great all day long, and then a battle with a lap car gets the 11 car out of the groove, gets him into the wall, and in one turn he would go from first to third and lose the lead. Skipping ahead now to 4 laps to go, where the huge caution comes out between Walking Avenger 59 and BuffyFan 95. This would set the finish up to have a green-white checkered finish. Chase 456 in the 9 car would lead the field to the end, and with no opportunity for a caution, the stakes were at an all-time high. Here, with 2 laps to go, Walking Avenger gets in a little trouble coming off the corner and then makes a severe block on the 48, and then more contact between cars in turn number 3. And this would continue throughout this green-white checkered finish as guys were trying to get all they could get. More contact between the 24 car and the 95, catches the 11 car in the melee, the 11 car would be saddled with a last place finish. I regret to inform you that the video for the remainder of this race was lost, but I can tell you that the 41 car of Buffy Fan 95 was able to hold off the field and collect the victory for the Pocono race. I'm very sorry that you couldn't see the end, but we'll go ahead and move on to the next race so you can see what happens at Watkins Glen. MC Hash Brown of the 88 car would win his first pole of the 2019 season. But he didn't keep that lead for very long, as going into turn 1, Sports for God 83 in the 11 car would take the lead. He would then lose that lead, entering the bus stop, and would get into the dirt, losing the lead to the 9 car of Chase 456. Then the 9 car would also clip the dirt, and he would lose the lead to Ty Racing 14. A little bit later, Ty Racing 14 saw a fast 11 car coming, would pull over to get out of the way and try to race him a little later, giving the 11 car back the lead. Toward the end of the stage, the 11 car would have a fierce battle with the 9 car of Chase 456, but he would hold off the challenger and win stage number 1 and collect the most bonus points for the stage. Much like the beginning of the race, the stage number 2 would start by the second place car getting the lead coming out of turn number 1. Another player who would insert himself into the race would be the 41 car of Buffy Fan 95, as he would show to have a fast car during the stage number 2. However, as the cars were racing for the lead a little bit later, the 41 car would get into the dirt and get himself off course, and this would cause a chain reaction with the 9. The 11 car gets into the 9 car and causes a huge wreck entering the bus stop. So with yellow flag waving, it would once again bunch up the field for a crazy restart going down into turn number 1, and the cars went feathered out, all kinds of racing room, but not much groove, and so the cars would force their way through the turn, and they would somehow get through it without a major accident. A little bit later, however, going into turn number 1, the leader, Chase 456, gets out of the groove and loses the lead and drops all the way back outside of the top 5. Stage number 2, unlike stage number 1, would finish with a green-white checkered finish, where the biggest mover through turn 1 was the 11 of Sports for God 83, who would restart in the 6th position, but coming out of turn 1, entering through the S's, would finish up all the way up into the 2nd position. This momentum would not last, however, as the 9 car would make heavy contact with the 11 car entering the bus stop, and it would ruin his chance at a good finish. He would finish dead last, but Buffy Fan 95 would get the stage win and the most bonus points. The final stage of the race started with some fireworks, as the 11 car couldn't find the brakes getting into turn 1 and sends the 24 off of the racetrack. A little later, battling for the lead, Buffy Fan 95, the 11 car, and the 9 car of Chase 456 get in a 3-wide battle for the lead, and it does not end well. As the cars get mixed up, a caution would take place behind them, and so the field would get ready for a restart with 17 laps to go. The battle would stay tight going through turn 1, as the cars were all over each other as they prepared to make their way up through the S's, and things seemed to be going fine until there was a chain reaction between the 88 car, the 13 car, and the 24 car that would cause a huge wreck, including Sports for God 83 and J. Harris 3407. So the caution would come back out, and they would line up and try again with 15 laps to go in the race. Although there were some winners and losers on this restart, it went through relatively clean, and for change, the race stayed green for a little while. A little bit later, a race for the lead between KU B-Ball Fan and J. Harris 3407 gets a little close for comfort. The 2 cars make contact, and Sports for God 83 would take advantage and take over the lead for the latter portions of the race. Chase 456, however, was hot on the 11 car's heels, and these two would battle it out to the very end, even in the midst of green flag pit stops where both drivers would make a risky call and take fuel only, leaving old tires on the race car. This would give them a substantial lead over the rest of the field, and they would have to battle it out and try to keep that advantage over the rest of the drivers. The two cars could never truly get separated, as the 9 car hounded Sports for God 83 throughout the final laps, and so no one was ever comfortable. The victory was never solid for either driver, but the Sports for God 83 in the 11 car would hold off the 9 car and collect his 5th win of the 2019 season. It's been feast or famine for the 11 car over the last 4 races, as he has 2 victories and 2 last place finishes. But right now he holds a 46-point advantage over second place Jay Harris, 34.07. But hey, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll certainly see you next time for the GoFast eRacing League Series.